What's up, everybody? Got a lot I want to talk about today. Welcome to the unlikely part. Yo, so man, listen, it's been a crazy week. I've done a lot. I've played a lot of games, a couple. Um, so we don't want to talk too much about that, but I definitely want to get into some game talk. I want to talk about Black Friday, of course. That's coming in a week or two. The next episode is probably going to be more Thanksgiving focused. So I want to get that Black Friday episode out as early as possible, especially because Black Friday is happening all of November now. It's not just specifically to the day after Christmas, or excuse me, the day after Thanksgiving. But I want to start off with saying congrats to my boys and my son's baseball team. They did not win this last game that we had this morning, but they kicked some butt all season. They were ranked third overall, and we lost to the number one team in the playoffs. So now we're in the loser bracket, which to me sounds crazy to call it a loser bracket, but I think that's actually what they call it. So the teams that lose still play, against each other. And I don't know if you win the loser bracket, are you like technically second place, third place? I honestly have no idea. I'm sure you're probably third place, which is where my team has been, all season. Not bad. It's my son's first year playing baseball, first season officially, and he was kicking butt in first base. He is incredible as a first baseman. He's doing real well as a pitcher. Still don't like him pitching. He gets way too in his head. He starts to feel like, if the winning and losing is all up to him. And so when he lost today, balling out of control, didn't want to talk to me after the game, because he's angry. And, of course, I'm a sore loser too. But I tried for him not to be. Unfortunately, that doesn't work when you're only one part of the family trying to tell him to calm down. But anyways, besides all that, I want to talk about what happened yesterday. I went to my first little rock, like heavy metal rock show with a couple friends. And to me, it was different. It was a little bittersweet. I want to say rest in peace to my boy, Eric P. Back in high school, my boy was in like 55 different screamo bands. Every month he would be like, yo, come listen to me and my garage band and our new music. So he was like rock, heavy rock, screamo, like all of that. My boy passed away a little bit after we graduated high school. I think it was a one car accident. And we haven't forgot about you, my boy. I know a couple people that still keep your memory alive, and I want to share that with everybody and keep that name going. Me and him used to walk together from the school bus together to our homes every day and just talk, catch up. And it's different. I am a hip hopper, a DJ music, and he was rock heavy. So it was unlikely, and I love that about our friendship. And that was really my guy. So when he passed, it hit hard. I know a couple friends that it hit even harder for. And I know they still keep his memory alive for sure. But seeing the people do the rock band stuff and are killing it, they're traveling shows and all of that. And it was a free show in Orlando. I believe there were 4 or 5 people performing. The last 2 are the ones I'm going to talk about the most. But the first group was out there. I forget their name, but they got real political up there on the stage talking about every topical topic you could speak about. And I believe they said they were all trans. I'm not too sure. But they did say that. And where I was at all the way in the back, I couldn't tell or see or anything. So, but they were very big on inclusivity, things like that. Not controversial as in the world, anything you say is controversial, not something that is controversial because I don't agree with it. So there was that. The second group went on. They did good. What I really want to talk about is that third group. Their name was Fever 333. It was this white man, older gentleman, Maybe not older, who knows? But he was hardcore rock and roll. His whole band was, I believe they were all black. His stage manager was a Spanish dude. Like when you talk about inclusivity, Fever 333 is that. Um, the first thing my boy did when he got on the stage was get off the stage, jump on the gate, and crowd surf immediately, instantaneously. The first thing he did. And I had managed to get like 4 rows back, dead center. I could see everything. Homeboy could sweat, and I would feel the sweat. He actually got his water bottle, pressed it, went up in there, and he's like blew on the water bottle and sprayed on everybody. Crazy nasty. Y'all rock and rollers go heavy. And I did get wet. It was gross. Um, Everybody else was like, yeah, rock and roll. I was like, ill. COVID is still a thing. So there's that. Then he jumped on the stage. And he jumped on the stage, or excuse me, jumped in the crowd. And this a this a guy, big heavy dude, and people are pushing him. He got up to me, and I have a video, like I did last week. I'll post it at the end of this video. And there's literally me and my friends and the girls in front of me. This girl's in front of me. And she's short. I still felt bad for her. I'm trying to protect her. I'm trying to protect my other friends that were two taller white dudes that they were protecting me. It's my first time too. So we're all protecting each other. This dude, I'm trying to record. He kicked my camera. His foot would have hit the girl's head. Luckily, it hit my camera and I caught it all on record. Then at the end of the show, he climbs up the light pole and everybody's like, guys, file in, get closer because he's going to jump. And after a while, he jumped off the light pole and people crowd surfed him back to the front. Not only that, there were Christmas lights around the tree and that were already there from the community or whatever, because it's in the middle of like an alleyway in Orlando where they were performing a free show. And he's messing with it, seeing if it's loose enough. And he puts his neck in it, his whole head in it, and just starts singing stuck to the tree like that. And it's a palm tree. Y'all rock and rollers go crazy. Yeah, I don't know why he did any of that, but he did all of that and more. And I'm talking about mosh pits. There's like a big wall of people, right? For all you people who have never been on a mosh pit or never seen a mosh pit, I don't recommend being involved and being a part of the mosh pit. That is the most dangerous, crazy thing I've ever seen. The people that were in that circle were getting out their anger, depression, their lack of parental guidance. Like they were swinging for the fences. Like they were ready to knock anybody and everybody out. Some people were just like, they were just spamming the X button and, Street Fighter and just kicking and hoya, 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 hoya the whole time. And I'm like, whoa. Luckily, the wall's there and I'm the second behind the first wall. If you're on the wall, it reminded me of Def Jam Fight for New York. When you fighting and you're inside that club and there's people around and every time you get back, they push you. Same thing. It reminded me of Fight for New York, 1,000,000,000%. These people had their elbows out and they just shoved the people back into the fight. And one dude had his nose bleeding, everywhere. He had to put a tampon up his nose to stop it. Another dude I heard broke his teeth. I'm like, I'm looking at my boys. I'm like, y'all do this for real? They're like, yeah, this is what we do. And they older than me. Then looking at the girls that are there, the girls that's with the guys. And I'm like, y'all want to do this? Like, you want to get in there? Homegirl said, yeah. Other girl was like, nah, I'm scared. I would be like, I'm scared too. But again, I'm a father mode. I'm protecting. So every time somebody came close, the whole group just fell back. Then we get pushed forward. Then we get pushed back. And we get pushed forward. At one point, I was sandwiching the people in front of me tighter than like if you vacuum sealed some meat to get the sazon to marinate in that. We was that tight. It was a lot, and it was back and forth. Like we would get pushed 7 feet back, then get pushed up 12 feet forward, then 15 feet back. We started here, we ended here. We had to get the heck out of there. Homie was having a panic attack. Like it got crazy. One dude, and it was nonstop. People jumping on top of other people, trying to crowd surf. Everybody wanted to be pushed around and being surfed. One dude, the only other black person that I seen other than the people on stage, he was the wildest of them all. My boy was crowd surfing, swinging as if he's fighting, pushing. His legs are going bow, bow. He's kicking everybody, trying to push him to the front. I'm over. I'm like, yo, I got you. Like, I'm protected. I done messed up my wrist. My arms are swollen. I feel like I done worked out and I was like bench pressing like 350. The heaviest dude in your freaking life that can ever crowd surf. Probably, I've seen other people do it on TV, but this man had to be pushing 280. He tried to crowd surf. Where was he getting maneuvered? Over me. I'm like, yo, get up. Like, get off. And so I push him off. He starts going forward. He falls because the people in front of me can't push him. So he's falling head first. That's when like 10 people grabbed his head so he didn't like bust his cranium. And they push him back up. Instead of letting him get on the ground and just stay where he's at, they continue to try to crowd surf this dude. Y'all go too crazy. That was some insane stuff. It was the free concert for Devil Wears Prada. They just had a album release party. Their album came out yesterday, and they were, I don't even know if they sang the song because that's when we left. The panic attacks and the people, there was mad people leaving because the mosh pit got more moshy after every song, like the moshiest. It was insane. And so getting pushed back and forth, people jumping over. It was about time to go. I was wearing this jacket. I had to wash this jacket like 3 times. I was like, everybody was rubbing up on me. It was nasty. I think I still need to wash it again. Like, it was nasty. One dude was in the mosh pit, no shirt on. He was swinging, and they're not swinging just for fun. They're not pushing each other. They're not having a blast. They look like they was picking somebody out the crowd and it's like, I'm going to knock you out. The nice thing is that anytime somebody did fall on the floor, 5 people were there to pick them up immediately, right? So there was that friendly camaraderie there. But then you got some people that are like, I'm here because I cannot afford boxing. I cannot afford UFC training. So I'm going to be here to get my Colin McGregor off. Colin, right? I think that's his name. Conor McGregor. They going to get their Conor McGregor off because there was no other place they could do it except this mosh pit. Again, free concert. Pretty dope. But Warped Tour came back. It's in Orlando for the weekend. You got people like MGK there. Devil Wears Prada was not there, but a couple other bands. I mean, out of all of them, I might know like 7, and there's like 50. I'm not a rock and roll dude, but I would have gone. But my son's game's more important. Making sure this podcast comes out is always paramount and most important to me. But that was some crazy, crazy stuff. Do I recommend going again? To watch. I'm not joining no mosh pit. You knock my glasses off, now I really want to fight. You knock my glasses off, probably gonna get beat up. You knock my glasses off, you bust my tooth. If I'm not playing hockey because I don't want to bust a tooth, you think I want to get into a fight with a random stranger of some dude that's like, all he listens to is that, I want to kill my mom. Like, come on, bro. Like, I'm not about that life. Give me back some rock, some rapidy hip hop, where the most that's gonna happen is you get into a little scuffle 1-on-1. Somebody wants to jump you, but here there's like 50 people with chains in their nose. One dude had the horn, the bull thing, and I think somebody yanked it because he came out of the mosh pit and was like freaking out that it was either moved or somebody ripped it or tore. I can't look at homeboy because of that tour, and he just had this big hole in his nose. Uh, Crazy. It definitely was an experience for sure. I try to get my rock and roll on. I try to wear the all black, but I wore this jacket because I forgot that I brought the other jacket that was more rock and roll, and yeah, and it got hot, so I took it off. But I try to get my all black on. I should have gone extra and used the zombie makeup to like put the black on my eyes, and kept my hair, not cut it, but like kept it and moved it to the side so it could like cover my eye and look like Green Day or something. I should have gone harder. So if I have another opportunity to go to something like that, that's what I'm gonna do. Uh, Crazy, wild, and ridiculous for sure. The other topic that I wanted to discuss was a little game related about Call of Duty, right? Um, the fact that that game, and I love Call of Duty for their story mode. I've always played them in veteran mode. I always try to beat it. I think I beat all of them except for World at War because I was at the very last level of Call of Duty World at War, and they threw grenades nonstop at this one location, and I couldn't get past it. That's the only one I never beat on veteran. But I'm playing this new one thanks to Game Pass, and there's no pausing. You have to play with other people. I even put it so that way I can not play with other people. Like I moved it to private server. I can only invite and only accept people, and there's still people that are joining my match and talking. I don't understand how that's happening. I think they just put that there for shits and giggles, and that's not really a thing. So that's crazy disappointing. The other disappointing thing is I was playing on yesterday when it came out, which is also my mom's birthday. So we celebrated the day before because I had my son. So I'm playing the game. I'm enjoying it. I get to like level 6 real fast because the game is easy. They don't allow you to choose your difficulty this time. So I'm the king of veteran. And now basically this game is like playing on recruit. I'm walking up to the robots and just pop, 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 pop. Over. Pop, pop, pop. Anytime I die, it's because I forget to save. I forget pausing doesn't exist. My brother called me with some stuff, so I paused, I died. My peoples called me, I called, boom, they die. I send a text message, I pause, boom, I'm dead. That's why I like single player, because I get to pause. I would be a multiplayer player if I did not pause as much as I do. I multitask when I play video games. I am always on my phone. So I like to pause. Taking the pause away from me, ruining the game. So I'm playing, and I'm like, you know what? Before I go to Orlando, let me see my mom on her birthday. Even though I celebrated the day before, I got her flowers and a gift. We went out to eat. I paid for the meal because, I'm the best son in the world, right? So I pause, or I turn the game off, and I go see my mom. I get back, and I have to restart the level from the jump. And I was far, like 20 minutes in, maybe. Like I was deep into the level. I just turned that bad boy off and said, I'm done. I'm not going to play this game right now. That annoys me. So this new Call of Duty, yeah, people are complaining that it is, super fake, and there's a huge monster that you got to kill. Like this is some kind of like action RPG type game, like Devil May Cry or something. Sure, but in the context of the story, you and your team have been drugged, and you're having ramifications of the drug that you were induced with. So every so often you don't know what's real, what's fake. Stuff are floating. Bad guys are disappearing like Ghost. So it makes sense in the context of the game. And Black Ops has always been a little weird. My favorite was Black Ops 2 because I remember back in the day I was playing and I had a surround system in my bedroom in my parents' house. Nice big TV, like pretty decent surround sound in the room with a subwoofer, speakers all around, my little tiny 10 by 10. And I played that game in the middle of the day. The graphics looked incredible. I think it was the one that had Fidel Castro in it. And I was playing in that Cuba level. And you heard helicopters. You heard planes. You heard the gunshots from behind me to go in the front to this and that. The room is so small, like the room was shaking. I've never experienced nothing like that. That was one of my favorite moments in gaming. And that was Black Ops 2. So this Black Ops, I do have the same. I have a surround sound bar and a subwoofer, but I don't have speakers behind me in my living room. So I don't get that same feeling. And again, my living room is a whole lot bigger than my 10 by 10 room in my parents' house back whenever Black Ops 2 came out. So it definitely feels different, but it is what it is. I don't love the new Call of Duty game. The shooting feels amazing. The graphics are always great. The story, I understand it, but compared to Black Ops 2 and you're seeing the progression, they took the one highlight of the last Black Ops game that came out last year, which was the zombie like little sequence when your guy was drugged, and said, people love that. Let's make an entire game of the drug, you know? So that may not have been the best move. We'll see what happens with the next one. They're already talking about the next Call of Duty because they're going to announce that sometime in the next couple months. They come out every year, so it is what it is. But for the main topic of the show, which is why everyone is here, it is Black Friday 2025. Now, is Black Friday as important and big as it was when I originally did my first Black Friday episode during Unlikely Geeks formative years in 2015? No. Black Friday's died a lot. Black Friday is not the same. Makes me very sad. Black Friday is still my favorite holiday of the year. It is still the best time to buy a lot of things. And if something was worth it, I would still wait in line with a tent for one of these items. Unfortunately, nothing's really that important or that big or something that I need for me to do something like that with. I did that with my boy Jason in 2000 something, very early, I think well before my son, and he's about to be 10, so over 10, maybe 12, 15 years ago. And me and him had a tent, and we waited outside Best Buy for a 45 or 50 inch television, not even smart. It was just a 50 inch high definition 1080p top of the line plasma screen, like not the big plasma, but it was a little thicker than the flat screens that you see nowadays. It was a Pioneer television. I think it's still either the one that my parents had in a room, or by now we probably tossed it, but we waited out there for that. That TV I think was $200 or $100. I don't remember really what it was, but it was a hell of a steal, and we both wanted one. So again, I'm going to reiterate stuff that I talked about in 2000 something when I first did this episode, because that episode's lost, and I'm sure a lot of new people don't know that story. But we waited in front of Best Buy in a tent. I would sleep in the tent, and when I wake up in the morning, I'd go home, shower, eat. He'll wait in the tent. Then he'll go home, and I would wait. So that's how we were able to keep the spot, because if somebody left, then somebody would take our stuff. Sleeping out there in the Best Buy, super cool. I was a Boy Scout. I'm not worried about that. People are jerks. They were honking all night anytime they saw us. We were probably the eighth tent. Eighth tent doesn't mean the eighth person, eighth and ninth person. The very first people in line, we got there on Wednesday for that Friday. So even before Thursday, Thanksgiving, we got there that Wednesday. And I don't remember what I did for work. I think I worked with the kids back then. And so that was winter break or fall break. And so we had off. But at the same time, I think we probably should have been working. I worked after school. So I don't remember how I got those days off, but I was off. So we're sitting there waiting. The first group were these Indian people. And, they were cool. We talked all the time, whatever. It was fine. They were waiting for the same TV. That's the part about Black Friday. You don't know how many of the item that you want are going to be there. We didn't know. They might have had 20, 25. They could have had 100. But we don't know that. So we weren't eighth people there. And we're building camaraderie. We're talking to the people to our left, talking to the people on our right. We're becoming best friends. That's what I love the most about Black Friday. You become best friends for that hour to 3 day time period whenever you're there. Like, you would ride or die for these people, or at least I would, because that's just the type of person I am. Like, yo, I know you really want this thing. How about I'm gonna go over there to the Madden section too? So I'll grab two Maddens and then I give you the other one, so you don't have to run over there. You just go make sure you get me a vacuum over there in that aisle, and then you make a trade. We'll do that. I whatever for my peoples. Um, so the day comes. It's Friday for Thanksgiving. I left my house, and grabbed the plate, brought it back. My boy grabbed the plate from his parents, brought it back, and we just ate in the tent. Nighttime. This is Black Friday that starts at midnight. Or, yeah, I think they didn't start doing the Thursday stuff yet. We waited till 2 or 3, I think it was 2 or 4 in the morning that Friday. That's when they opened the store. And those Indian people that were in the very front, they had called everyone that would have been in Thanksgiving to join them. Everyone that would have been in their Thanksgiving. They had over 28 people. We thought there were only 20 TVs. They all wanted the TV. When I tell you the riot, like, yo, I thought we was friends. We was talking, like we was chilling. Now you're trying to steal all of these TVs. Not steal, but like these other 26 to, whatever, they weren't in the slums with us. They weren't waking up in the middle of the night because somebody wanted to honk their horn like it's dun 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 dun, right? Like they wasn't down. They wasn't shooting in the gym. You know what I'm saying? So that immediately, security, 911, like it's gonna be a fight. I was ready to throw down for my TV, and luckily, the people behind them, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, they were ready to throw down too. So I was 8 in line. If I don't got to fight, I'm not trying to fight. But I was mad. I was annoyed. So they ended up saying, all right, cool. The 2 people that were there, you guys can have one other person. So they got 4 TVs, right? They ended up having like 25 or something of those televisions, and I made sure to grab one. They gave out tickets. They gave out pieces of paper guaranteeing that you were one of those people. You just had to go to the back and grab it. So me and my boy ended up getting the TV. It was great. Let me tell you guys now some tips. If you still do Black Friday the old school way, I'm going to give you the same tips I gave you before. Then I'm going to add the new 2025 way, which is basically Cyber Monday, but Cyber November. You know what I'm saying? So the tips, if you are someone who goes to the actual store itself, are as followed. Number 1, park wherever the hell you see a parking. Do not try to park close. Do not try to swerve in and out, find parking. If you pull in and there's a parking spot that's 2, 3 stores down in the plaza, park there, get out your car, and walk. Run fast. You waste more time trying to find a good parking spot and waiting for somebody. Your item that you want is gone. So just do what you got to do to find a spot, get out your car, and hustle. It's all about hustling. Second tip, bring somebody with you. They may or may not want to be participating in all of the foolishness that is Black Friday. But one, you're going to need some backup. You pulling out of Walmart with $400 worth of stuff. You're going to want some backup. 2, you think that you are going to fit a cart through these small ass aisles and you're still going to be able to maneuver around when 75 other people are doing the same thing? No. You need to have someone whose job it is to hold the cart down. Somebody who will stay outside the aisle while you start to like Pac-Man through the aisle to grab what you need. Right? That's tip 2. Tip 3, grab everything. Everything. And again, these might not be in the order I did them last time, but that episode is lost media. Grab everything. If you want movies, if you want games, if you think you see a toy that your son or daughter is going to like, grab it. Figure that bad boy out while you're in line, because that line is going to take you another 30, 45 minutes if you haven't flown through it that fast. You'll figure it out. You start taking things out. All right, cool. This baby don't really need her 18th Barbie. What? Oh, my son already got this. Boom. Oh, snap. I done picked up 2 bad boys for life. Throw one of them to the side. Bump it. Now the person that wants it, they can't find it because it's not in the right spot. You snooze, you lose. It's about you. Get what you got to do. Save your money. Pre-plan. I used to. I don't need to now because, again, there's not many things that I want. But I used to have an Excel spreadsheet, color coded, color coordinated, based on the time that each store opened, based on the price that it was originally. So this is how I would do it. I would pick a store, Walmart. Walmart is going to be this section. I put Walmart, I put the time they open, midnight to 3 o'clock. And I know which stores I'm going to. There's an area in my city that has Walmart, 2 Targets, and 3 GameStops at that time, 1 Best Buy, and there was a Kmart around the corner, and Kohl's, like that little section. That's my Black Friday section. You will always see me there because boom, 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 you hit all 7 spots fast. So organize yourself. I would put everything that I see as the month went on. They drop this flyer with all the things. They drop this flyer with all the things. So I'm putting the same products and everything. Okay, make sure I get Madden 15. So I put Madden 15 from Walmart. Normally, $59.99. Today for Black Friday, they're usually like $25, $30. So $25 at Walmart, which means the savings is this, blah, blah, blah. So I have that original price, sales price, amount saved. And I do the same thing for all my games. I do the same thing for whatever I want. If it's a TV, if it's a vacuum, if it's toys. And then I calculate it. So at the end, this is how much it would have been if I bought it any time in the year. This is how much of a savings is. This is how much it is now with Black Friday. And this is the total of money I'm saving. If my list showed me that I had the savings amount that I'm saving is more than what I'm paying for, buddy, I'm buying everything on that list. It doesn't matter what the price is. I'm saving $700 and I'm paying $600. I'm buying everything for $600. And then I will color coordinate it. So, okay, I want Madden for the Xbox, green. I want NBA for the PS4, blue. I want this for the Nintendo Wii, red. I want, I want this skateboard for my son, or not, I didn't have a son then, but I want a skateboard for my brother, purple. Everything is color coordinated. I know exactly where it's at. And then I would check the map and be like, okay, cool. I know where this is, whatever. Same thing with the next store, with the next store, with the next store. Then I would find out which ones are what. All right, so Madden at Best Buy is on sale for $35. Madden at Walmart is on sale for $25. Erase the one at Best Buy. Boop. And the way the formula worked, it would adjust the savings and the pricing and everything all just automatically. And I would do that. By the end of the day, I have my 10 stores. I have all the pricings. I know how much I'm going to spend. A lot of money. The problem was when I went to the actual stores, I would find what I wanted and I would find things I didn't have even considered. I'll tell you, one of my best years was a year where I went to Black Friday and I started at Best Buy because they opened first. And that's the other thing. You know what stores open first. You make sure you get to that store first if you're not camping out. Best Buy. I am one of the first people in there. I waited in line. I ate Thanksgiving early. Make sure you get your Thanksgiving early. If your family's coming, we eating by 1, and by 4, I gotta be where I gotta be. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. If we don't eat by then, somebody drive me and bring me a plate. That's how it is, because I gotta win in line. So I get inside this Best Buy, and I got my list, but I know, and my list is a lot, but I know that I won all of these Blu-rays. Blu-rays was my thing. Behind me would have been nothing but Blu-rays, and I still have them all. They're in boxes in my parents' garage. They're begging me to either get rid of them or whatever. I don't need them no more, but whatever. Back then, I thought that these were collectibles, just like VHSs, right? I went through that Blu-ray aisle, and I put everything in that box. I put everything in that cart. I'm like, Bad Boys, Daredevil, whatever. I had 64 Blu-rays in that cart. Not only did I get those 64 Blu-rays in that cart, I did that in under 2.5 minutes. Everything. And then I got all the other stuff I wanted. Video games, movies. I spent, not being a hyperbolic, not exaggerating, $4,000. I was the first person to check out, which means I dropped $4,000. Not all in Blu-rays, not in 64 Blu-rays. I had bought speakers. I bought a bunch of stuff that I couldn't even tell you now. I think I probably bought a television again. I just spent $4,000, and I did that in under 5 minutes. I was the first person there. When I got out, the local news station was there to interview me, and I did an interview. They're like, "Yo, so what did you get?" I'm like, "I got everything." Or I don't remember what I said. It was a long time ago. Threw all of that in my cart, in my trunk of my car, and went to the next store. Walmart, still spent mad money. Not that much money, but I still spent mad money. Uh, I saved for this period, you know. I also used credit cards. I got points. And so I just made sure that I paid off all my credit cards by February. So if I bought everything in November, by February it's gone. But I would pay more than half of it before the end of December. So I did all that. 1 year, that was the most money I ever dropped. And it was at that Best Buy that year. And it was mostly Blu-rays and a bunch of other stuff. Not to count, I went to 1 year, I got boxing equipment from like a sports authority that's no longer there. So I went crazy. I go crazy. I love Black Friday. 1 year at Walmart, I seen employee, I seen an employee get all the shopping carts from people that just left them, and they scraped the back of my car. And this was in the middle of Black Friday. I couldn't leave. Now they're stalling me. So I'm freaking out because they done scratched my Mazda, and I no longer have the car or whatever. Then I'm underneath a pole with a light, because that's my next tip. If you can, park where there's a light, park where there's something that you'll know exactly where your car's at. Normally, on my day-to-day, I usually park on the left side over here, but today I'm parking anywhere. So I made sure to park in the back of the back by this light, or in the front on the side of the Walmart. I parked over there, and that's exactly where the cart scratched my stuff. So I'm thinking, okay, let me go complain, talk to the manager. They're like, let's check the cameras. The camera wasn't working that day. I called my parents. It was a whole thing. Walmart ended up getting my bumper replaced. So whatever. But no pain and suffering. They didn't pay me for all the money that I overspent because I couldn't go to the next store. Luckily, Walmart was the last store on my list that day, but I could have gone to other stores. So that was a horror story there. I have other stories where Walmart would try to do cool different things. 1 year, they put the video games in between the baby section, and they moved all of the baby clothes like a maze. So that way in the middle is where all of those games were. Sometimes they put them in the frozen food section, like in the back where the cheeses are. Sometimes they would put them in the game section right in front. So this year they put them by the baby stuff. And I got my games. Then I realized I forgot Madden. So I'm not standing in that line to go around that maze again. So I crawled underneath the baby clothes, and I grabbed the Madden. And I grabbed the Madden I wanted, but this lady was trying to grab that same exact Madden, and she had like an infant baby or a 1-year-old baby in her hand. Yeek! I done took that bad boy and I put it in my cart, and she's yelling at me, "I got my baby. How can you do that? You don't see me with a baby." I said, "Why the hell you bringing a baby out here in the middle of the night trying to get you some video games? That's bad parenting." And I done zoomed out of there. So I have so many stories. I love Black Friday, and I'm going to keep saying that. Now, I don't know what other tips I can give you guys. Again, Black Friday is not as big a deal as it once was. Just keep your car empty. Make sure that you back into parkings so that way nobody can, steal your stuff while you're at the other store. So park behind a wall or park backwards by the bushes, back into your parking. If you have tinted windows, even better. If you don't have tinted windows, make sure you bring blankets and stuff and cover your stuff. Obviously, you have things in your car, but also don't be so obvious so that way they know you got a 75-inch TV in there, you got a PS5 and an Xbox. Don't make it so obvious and so easy for someone to rob your stuff. No one's ever done that to me, knock on wood. So, we're going to keep that momentum going. A 2025 tip, don't buy an Xbox or a PlayStation at the moment for Black Friday for your kids, unless you really have to, because they raised the price of the Xbox and the PlayStation. I said it on the podcast, Unlikely Geeks. Watch it every Monday. But they raised the price like $150 over the past year. Tariffs and the price of materials and technology. So if, we don't know yet, if they do drop the price, it's going to go right back to the price that it normally was back in January or even, when I bought it. Worst case scenario, it's the same price that it is currently, and they just add a free video game or something, 3 months of Game Pass. You could get the new Call of Duty for free with the bundle, something like that. So that would be worst case scenario. I wouldn't recommend it. One of the things about Black Friday 2025 is that the biggest competition to Black Friday, Black November 2025 is Facebook Market for me. I mean, do I want to get a discount, $200 off a Peloton bike for, that's normally $1,000. I could get it for $800. Or do I want to get it from Christina in Tampa, who no longer feels like working out and is selling it for $200, like new condition, because she never really used it. You know what I'm saying? So, but that marketplace is really the Black Friday killer for me. I believe this year I'm going to buy, and I don't even buy physical video games anymore really like that because everything's digital. So, and I've mentioned it before, a lot of people wrote me in the comments and were like, digital, ill, don't do digital. What about preservation? What if they not? Yeah, sure, but I'm also very lazy. So even if the game is, $30 digital and $25 at Walmart, that's where I debate. Do I want to pay the extra $5 to get it digital? Or is this game not that important, not something I'm going to be playing that much, where I could buy the CD, throw it in there, and once I'm done, it'll just collect dust right behind me. So that is the question there. For 2025 Black Friday, it started now, which is why I'm doing this episode now. Everything has small deals coming up. Every day, new things pop up. I believe that my favorite item this year is probably this 98-inch THQ or TQL television. I think it's at Best Buy, but I saw it at Walmart, so I might have that confused. But a 98-inch TV, smart TV, QLED, it's not OLED. OLED is the best. I have an OLED in my downstairs TV. It's 65 inches, but 98 inches? I'm seriously debating. Do I want to get it? It's currently $998 for a 98-inch TV. Everyone around me tells me I don't need it, which I don't. Everyone around me tells me that since it's not better than the TV I have, I shouldn't do it, but it's bigger. And I want to be able to see more of my TV. And if I hang it on the wall, it fits perfectly. My wall is larger than a 65-inch TV, looks. It looks so tiny on that wall. 98, imagine me watching boxing on that big TV. Now, playing video games, a little different because the OLED is better for the TV, the video games. The blacks are blacker, the whites are whiter. Like, it looks crispy. Won't be like that with a QLED, but it's not horrible. If I try to get the OLED version of that, it would be a LG or a Sony. And even with the discount, it's still over $2,000, $3,000. And this year, my Black Friday budget is not $4,000. I now live alone. This studio, my son, I'm not Richie Rich anymore. Other things, there's really nothing that I can see. I literally went with my brother today and we walked around two Targets, a Walmart, GameStop, and literally every store that I would go to, we walked through today a little early. It's about 15. We're on the 15th of November, and Black Friday is not to the end of the month. My other tip is if you are gonna go to the store before Black Friday and scope out where everything's at. They start prepping. They're prepping now. I saw where some of the stuff was at. I at Best Buy specifically, they already had their barrels full of those like Fire TVs and remote controls. They already had those barrels there ready to move to the front. So I looked and I saw and it was all cool. So scope out what you're trying to do and what you're trying to get, so you know exactly where to run to when you want to grab what you want to grab. So that's a big tip. But we saw nothing. I mean, right now I think they got buy two get one Funko Pops at GameStop, and you guys already know we talked about it last episode. Funko Pops are going out of business next year, according to them. Hopefully something happens and they're saved. I like Funko Pops; they're all over my back, behind me. So, with all that said, you guys let me know what you guys are looking most forward to. Just make sure, one, you have your friends with you when you go Black Friday shopping. Go beforehand, park backwards, park anywhere, and just stay safe. I always wear all black. Try not to be so conspicuous. It's cold most of the time during that time. It's Florida, so it's not freezing. So one of those years it was ridiculously cold. And just have fun. Try not to get into fights with people. Don't be disrespectful. That's what I'm saying. Make friends with the people that you're in line with, because you'll see them. As you're running around the store, you'll run back into them like, hey, you got what you wanted? Yeah, I got what I wanted. Woo! Be that. I'm always a funny guy, so I'm in line, always trying to crack jokes and stuff. I don't know what else. I think you guys are in good hands, like Allstate. Make sure that you guys pay off your credit cards. Don't go in debt. Just let me know what you guys are looking for. Looking forward to trying to find. Do you think that the Xbox is going to be cheaper than ever? Did you want the new Peloton? Are you guys looking for, a specific video game? Do you think Call of Duty is going to drop? There's no new Assassin's Creed that came out here. The Assassin's Creed came out earlier this year, so are you sure that's going to be on sale? Borderlands may have just come out. Usually, if a game came out before November, then they're not, or then they're probably going to be on sale. If they came out end of October, beginning of November, they're probably not on sale. So, yeah, what's the big item? What do kids want the most? My son only likes Fortnite, so I'm not really hip to what children even like anymore. My uncle's texting me, yo, what should I tell Santa to get him? My dad's, what should I tell Santa to get him? I don't know what I want Santa to get me. So let me know, what is the new hot item? I know 6'7" is the hot term. I know that Skibbity, I've been seeing that bad, but the little toilet guy everywhere, which doesn't make any sense to me. So just what is the cool thing to have? Because even if it's something my son doesn't ask me for, if it's the cool thing to have, I might consider getting it for him. He might watch this. There's stuff I want to tell Santa to get him because I've heard him talk about it a lot. And so me and Santa have a scheduled call after he comes for Thanksgiving. In the Macy's parade, that's when Santa's officially here. And then me and him have some time to speak. So that's what I'm going to do. And until then, if you guys have any more Black Friday questions, I am the Black Friday King, self-proclaimed, and I'll be here to help answer any questions. If you guys need something, you're local and I know you, hit me up. I would love to go and shop for you guys. I don't need anything myself right now, but if you guys want that new TV, call me. I grab it for you. I don't even charge you no finder's fee or no wasting time. Like, bro, just give me the money back for the item. This is fun for me. If you want to throw me a little, gas money, you want to, thanks a convenience fee, cool. I've never been the type to ask for that. But tell me what you want. I will get it for you. Is it one of those Polaroid cameras? Do you need, with the film that your kids could use or whatever? Do you want a new laptop? televisions, these lights, gaming chairs, anything. I think I'm probably gonna ask Santa for some hats. I don't have any new shoes. I haven't bought new shoes in a long time. I need more white shirts. You guys know me and my love for these white shirts. Um, just let me know what you guys want, because I love to hear it. And let's celebrate Black Friday together. Tell me, guys, after Black Friday is over, what did you guys end up getting? How much did you save? How much were you gonna spend? Because I'm Mr. Frugal, and Black Friday is the time where I break free. It's like somebody who's been dieting all year, and then Thanksgiving comes and they go ham. I try not to spend that much money outside what I need to spend, and big lights and stuff that I need. But this is the time where I go broke, right? Like, I just spend everything that I can spend and still be able to survive. I can't wait. I'm counting down the days. There's nothing that I need, but I'm just waiting for Xbox and PlayStation and Switch and Steam to show their Black Friday deals, so I could go in there and I already have a couple $100 for all of them. Because I know how many games I want. Ghost of Yote, Battlefield, the same old games, Hades 2, the same games I talk about every week. Until next time, guys, thank you guys for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed, a couple different topics here. And let me know if that's something I should do moving forward, or should I stay with just one topic per episode. Next episode is probably going to be Thanksgiving related, because Thanksgiving is going to be at my house this year. And we're going to talk about the stresses that come with that, which are none. I'm not doing nothing but just opening my doors. Everyone else is cooking for me. But we're going to talk about it. Love you guys. Stay safe out there. And see you guys next week. Watch the Unlikely Geeks every Monday. Peace.